Hello and welcome back to my channel. I have been on the trend of doing physical media collections. I did a vinyl one recently, which was actually, I think, an updated version from a couple years ago. And then I just did a DVD collection, and now we're gonna do books. I don't own a ton of books. I've always been a very avid library user. Ever since I was a kid, it's been a big part of my life. So I really don't own a ton. My childhood home at my parents' house, I have a lot of books, but my adult collection that I have where I live now is not vast. I usually have to really like a book to buy it, and I've had to have read it to buy it. Now, of course, there are exceptions. There are a couple I have bought on a whim just from recommendations. But yeah, my collection's pretty small. I also don't have a ton of space, so I guess I could get a big bookshelf, but I really only have this one cubby that my camera is currently sitting on to hold all of these. And then I have a couple more in our kitchen or in our living room, but not many. Oh, and don't mind the pile of clothes behind me. I'm packing for a trip, so this is the putting it in the travel bag situation, so don't mind that. Okay, I don't really have a rhyme or reason for how these are organized, so I'm just gonna go through them. I do want to mention though, because this is one of my favorite items, is I got gifted a book embosser for Christmas, I think a couple years ago, either Christmas or my birthday, but they're very close together, so sometimes I have a hard time remembering. But I love this gift. They have them on Etsy, and I think I've gifted this 2 or 3 times to other people. I think it is so fun. You can put it right directly on the page, or you can put it on a sticker and it just says from the library of your name. So you can kind of cater and curate your little collection and make your own little library, which is so fun. Okay, first up, this is probably one of the oldest books that, well, actually no, I shouldn't say one of the oldest books I own, because my childhood bedroom, I have a lot of books from when I was a kid, but this is probably one of the first books I bought with book fair money. Also my favorite John Green book. Turtles All the Way Down is a close second. I own a signed copy of Turtles All the Way Down and The Fault in Our Stars, both from book fairs, but they're at my parents' house. This is not a signed copy, but this is my favorite John Green book. Paper Towns. She is old. I'm pretty sure this is a book fair sticker, barcode, but I need to do a reread of this book. She is well loved. Then we have some fangirl books. I have the Book of Harry and The Little Guide to Taylor Swift. These are just kind of on my shelf as displays. Then I have this poetry book, All Along You Were Blooming by Morgan Harper Nichols. I'm pretty sure I got this in high school. I can't remember if I bought it or if it was a gift, but it's so colorful and it's just a poetry book. Okay, next up is a gift that my friend Elaine got me when I visited her in Scotland. Haven't read this yet, but it is Eleanor Oliphant, I hope I'm saying that right, Is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. This takes place in Scotland, which is perfect, and it was such a kind and sweet gift. I cannot wait to read this. My book backlog right now, very deep, and we're getting through them. We are getting through them. This is a recent buy. This is a book that I think about all the time, and when I saw it was getting made into a movie, I was like, oh my gosh, I should just buy this. I feel like putting a book on hold at the library for movies and TV shows, sometimes I love to do it. It's like a little game. Anytime Emily Henry is releasing a book, I will check every day until the library puts it in their database, and then I will put it on hold, and it's kind of fun. But sometimes you just really want to read it, and so I liked this book enough to buy it. It's Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I read this in December of 2022, I think. This book is not, from the plot of this book, I really don't think it's one I would usually go for, but for some reason, I think maybe it was recommended to me, and I read this in maybe 2 or 3 days. I was obsessed with it. I think it is so incredible, and it is still one that I think about, so I just went ahead and bought it. This is a book that I did buy without reading per the wonderful recommendations I received, and I knew that I would probably want my own copy of this book because I think it's one I'm going to revisit a lot, and I want to be able to mark it up. But it is Everything I Know About Love by Dudley Atherton. I read this when I was in college, and I think I'm due for a reread here soon. But if you have not read this, girl, get on it. It is so good. So good. I remember reading this in my college apartment and just sobbing because it it like pierces through your heart. It is so good. The quote on TikTok that's that says like, all of the things I've learned about love, I've learned from my long-term friendships with women, is from this book. So this next one is my most recent buy. I read this from the library, I think back in February, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need that. It's All About Love, New Visions by Bell Hooks. I read a lot of Bell Hooks for courses in college, and I just have not revisited any of her writings since. And this one's so good, guys. It's so good. Next up is a collection, and it was a little bit of a splurge. I read these books every summer. Well, I have been reading them every summer for the past like 4 or 5 summers, I guess, so it hasn't been that long of a tradition. But I bought these last summer when I was visiting my sister. We went to the Barnes & Noble, dangerous place, and I only owned the first one, and I would get the other 2 either from friends, I think my sister owns both of them, or from the library, and I was like, it is time to have my own copy of all of them. So it's the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. You already know. I owned the first one on the OG cover, and I didn't have the other 2, like I said, so now they all match and they're on display, and they're my babies forever. Next up is a book that I'm pretty sure my mom got from like a used book sale when I was little, and I stole it. It's The Great Gatsby, of course, by Fitzgerald. This is by far my favorite book I had to read for school. There was actually a lot of required reading in high school that I really enjoyed in middle school. Like, I loved The Giver, I loved The Outsiders, loved Holes. We had to read The Crucible in high school. I enjoyed that. But this by far absolutely takes the cake. I think it is so good. This next one is also another recent buy. I've bought a lot of books this year. Way more than I probably have total in the past like 4 years. I think we're up to like 3 or 4 now for 2026, which is crazy. But it's The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I got this from the library. I read it. I can't remember if I read this in, was it December? No, I think it was early this year that I read this. And I was so enthralled by this book. I cannot believe that this isn't like a movie or limited series yet, because it is the craziest thing you've ever read in your life. Like, I can't even begin to describe the plot of this book to you. Also, the cover is just gorgeous. I was like, if I buy it, it is gonna have to be this cover. This next one is a Christmas gift that I got, I think, December 2024 for Christmas. This is also a product of, I read it in college and loved it so much that I wanted my own copy. So I was gifted A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. I had to read this in college, like I said, and I just knew I needed a copy of it forever. So now I have one. Okay, we're down to the final 3. We'll do this one first. This is from a used book sale at the library, and it's just a collection of Arthur Miller's plays. And I've already read 2 of these. I had to read Death of a Salesman and The Crucible in high school, so I'm excited to read the rest. Next is my favorite book of all time, People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This is a very well-loved copy. I have read this so many times at this point. But I love her dearly, so of course I own her. Then the final book in my collection I bought back in June of 2025, so last June. This was my big souvenir from my trip to Boston. Well, I guess technically Concord, but I went to Massachusetts with the same friend, Elaine, who gave me the other book, and we went to go visit the Louisa May Alcott house, and of course I bought a copy of Little Women in my favorite color. Look at the side. And there's a sticker inside that says that it's from the Orchard House, which I love. So yes, that is my complete book collection. It is quaint, but they are well-loved books by me. So thank you so much for watching, and consume more physical media.